Good morning, boys and girls, and happy Sabbath. I am so excited to be here with you for another Nature Nugget. And this week's Nature Nugget animal is fantastic. And I can't wait to share another one of God's amazing creatures with you. So let's jump in and learn about this fun animal. So, clue number one is they're the only mammal to have a bill. And clue number two, their cheeks act as pockets and they can put food in there when they go underwater to protect it. What animal could this be? That's right! This week's Nature Nugget animal is all about the platypus. The platypus is a very strange mammal and it is found only in Australia. It has fur like other mammals. It is warm-blooded like other mammals also. A baby platypus drinks its mother's milk like other mammal babies, but a platypus is different from other mammals in an important way. A female platypus lays eggs. So, what does a platypus look like? An adult platypus is about 24 inches long. It weighs about 4 pounds, and it has thick brown fur that is waterproof. It has fur everywhere except for on its feet and its bill. Its short legs have webbed feet, and it has a wide, flat tail. Very sharp nails on its feet are used to dig burrows. But the strangest part of a platypus body is its bill. The bill looks like a duck's bill. It is really a snout. The snout is covered in rubbery skin. And a male platypus has spurs on its ankles. The spurs hold poison that can kill small animals. How does a platypus move, you might wonder? Well, a platypus spends most of its time in freshwater ponds and streams. It has adapted to its water habitat. It can close its eyes, nostrils, and ears when it swims underwater. A platypus is a great swimmer. It uses its front feet to move through the water. It steers with its back feet and flat tail. On land, a platypus is quite awkward. How does the platypus gather food? Well, a platypus does most of its hunting at night. It eats tiny animals like crawfish, snails, shrimp, and worms. It uses its sensitive rubber snout to scoop up tiny prey from the muddy water at the bottom of the pond or stream. The platypus then stores the food. Can you guess where? That's right, its cheek pouches. Returning to the surface to eat. It does not have teeth. It grinds its food on its rough ridges inside its cheeks. A platypus stores fat in its tail. The fat is used for energy when it cannot find food. You may wonder, how are platypus babies born? Well, a female platypus builds her nest in a tunnel. She digs and digs the tunnel in the river banks. Then she lines the nest with grass and leaves. She lays eggs 2 or 3 of small eggs in the nest. The eggs have leathery shells, and she holds the eggs between her tail and belly for about 2 weeks. So this keeps the eggs nice and warm. After they hatch, the tiny babies crawl up on the mother's belly. They drink her milk that comes from tiny little openings in her belly. Mammals that lay eggs are called monotremes. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to tell you 5 really fun facts about platypuses that you might not have known. Fun fact number 1. Did you know the platypus does not have a stomach? That's right. They are the only animals to forgo the acid-producing part of the gut. And nearly a quarter of all living fish all have the gullet, which connects directly to their intestines. And that's exactly what the platypus has. All right, fun fact number 2. The male platypus have venomous spurs. The platypuses are one of just a few venomous mammals, which is one of their more reptilian characteristics. But unlike the snakes, a platypus venom isn't in its teeth. Instead, the males have a hollow spur on each hind leg from which venom is dispensed, but only sometimes. Although the spur itself is always there, the venom gland in which it is connected to is seasonally activated and only produces venom during the mating season, indicating that its use is for fending off competing males. All right, fun fact number 3. Platypuses have retractable webbing. Although they can only stay submerged in water for a few minutes, they are mammals after all. Platypuses are much better suited to scooting around in water than they are on land. Much like an otter, they prune their thick coat to add air bubbles that act as insulation in the cool rivers while they hunt. Out on land, the platypus' short limbs means it has to exert 30% more energy than a similarly sized land-based mammal just to move around. All that being said, they do have one particular adaptation to ease their travel. The webbing between their front claws, which is like when they use it to paddle through the streams, it retracts when the platypus is on the riverbank to expose its sharp claws. Fun fact number 4. A platypus often uses gravel as a makeshift teeth. So platypuses, they don't have teeth inside their bill, which makes it very difficult to chew some of their favorite foods. But they've worked out a pretty ingenious solution. Along with worms, insects, shellfish, and whatever else they find on the bottom feeders, they scoop up to make a meal out of. The platypus also picks up gravel from the riverbed. Then the platypus packs it all into pouches in its cheek to carry it up on the surface where it munches away, using the bits of gravel as makeshift teeth to break up the tougher food. All right, our last fun fact about the platypus. The platypus uses their tail for all sorts of things. Unlike the beavers, which have very visually similar tails, platypuses don't use their tails to slap the water in warning, or even to move them through the water. Most of the time, the primary function of the platypus's tail is just to store up to nearly half of the animal's body fat in case of food shortage. A female platypus also uses her tail to hold the incubating eggs against her warm body. All right, boys and girls, that wraps up another Nature Nugget. And remember, like the beautiful book Steps to Christ talks about, we can learn more about Jesus in nature, from the green fields, the passing clouds, even the falling rain. All of it speaks to our heart and invites us to become acquainted with Jesus, who made them all, including the very peculiar platypus. All right, boys and girls, here are your clues for next week's Nature Nugget animal. Clue number 1, they can lay up to 10 to 20 eggs at one time. And clue number 2, they can only fly a short distance. All right, best of luck, and I can't wait to join you guys again next week for another Nature Nugget. Bye!